Big Z Reviews. Alien Romulus is the newest film in the Alien universe, and I think this is the best Alien film since Aliens. Now, it's not saying that much, but I did really enjoy it.
What's happening?
There's something in the water.
What do you mean there's something in the water?
No, there's just something in the fucking water.
So Alien Romulus was directed by Fede Alvarez, who's made some excellent horror films. So this mainly stars Kaylee Spaney as Rain, and she is like the main character that the audience has going in. Like, you see her like dreaming about being in this beautiful world, that she wakes up and she's in this horrible Weyland-Yutani mining colony. And I love that, like, it's a different look in this universe. I would love to see more movies in this universe, not just about aliens, but it's really interesting stuff, that, galactic spanning humanity, but there is still no aliens or anything, except for when they find them. And this is, like, she is trying to, as soon as she's had enough hours working, that she can now get a passport to go off-world and leave this mining planet that never sees the sun. But then she has, like, this android who she considers her brother, Andy, played by David Johnson. And he was repaired by her father, who has passed away. Her father and mother passed away a couple years ago. And, like, he is a bit malfunctioning, but he still loves her and she loves him, even though, like, he's a malfunctioning android. But then her friends, played by Archie Renault, Isabella Merced, Spike Fern, and Aileen Wu, like, they kind of pull her into this scheme that they have, this heist, where one of them, while they're out, they found this ship that's just floating in space in orbit around this world, and they have a plan that if they can get their hibernation thing that they have in there, that they can install them in their ship, and they can actually make it for the nearest system that actually has better worlds that they could live in. And they know that Weyland-Yutani will never actually let them leave, but they're always going to keep increasing their contract hours they have to do. So they just have this scheme, and of course they get there, and it's a Weyland-Yutani research ship where something horribly went wrong. And I love the set pieces in this film. Like, there are a lot of practical effects, and like the alien is a practical suit, and a lot of the face huggers are also, like, practical, and it looks really cool. And they do some new stuff that we've never seen done with them, with how, like, a little like Don't Breathe, where, like, that, like, they hunt by sound and by heat signature. So there's some really cool stuff. And all the characters are interesting. I really like Kaylee Spaney. And the David Johnson he's a little much at times. Like, I know that it's like Tropic Thunder, he went a little bit full R word. Like, I don't think you're supposed to say it anymore, but it's a little much. But at the same time, you kind of feel for him because Spike Fearn is, like, a real asshole to him. And but, like, there's like an interesting dynamic with everyone. The one, Isabella Merced, is pregnant, and she's the brother of Archie Renault. It's kind of like the pilot, or like the leader of the team. But, like, once they get on this ship and things start going wrong, and it's definitely more along the lines of the original Alien, more horror themed. They still have some action stuff. You still have bits of aliens, but, like, it's incredibly well done. And it just makes me really want to see more movies in this universe. Like, not so focused on Sigourney Weaver, and that character and all this other stuff. And then, like, the Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Like, it was interesting, and I would have loved to see an end to the trilogy because they kind of left on a cliffhanger. But I don't know. But the interesting thing, though, this movie kind of bridges the gap a little, especially with Prometheus, were about like how the whole engineers or the progenitors or whatever they called them, like how they like seeded Earth and like with like the super juice stuff, and they also had like a super weapon that they'd use in the aliens to actually end life if when they decided to end it, and that like that is like so there's some interesting stuff, the look of some things towards the end, and like some of the things that like they were doing research on, it kind of bridges the gap between them. And this movie actually takes place after Alien, I think before Aliens. Essentially, the opening scene is this Weyland-Yutani research station finding the alien that was jettisoned from the first film, and it survived in even in like its own version of hypersleep, and that that they're going to do some research on it, which is inevitably going to go horribly wrong. And for what happens, like I definitely saw what happened once they introduced certain aspects. I was like, there's definitely going to be some shenanigans with that towards the end, and they do exactly what you expect. But they do it really cool. I was a little worried. I won't spoil, but I was a little worried we were going to have an alien resurrections on their hand with that monstrosity. But like they didn't do that. What they did was pretty cool. It was, I know it might be, some people might not like it, but I thought it was pretty badass and interesting. Although like I wish they had been a little bit more. I wish it had been a little bit more like they didn't go all in with it with everything being evil. Like I wish there was a moment when, well, maybe this could be something different before, oh no, it is bad. But I understand what they did. The horror of it, and the body horror and the disgusting is really awesome. I love the gore that this movie has. But I will say this movie is just about ruined by two main things. And that's number one, like the director and Fede Alvarez really talking about how important it was to have all these practical sets and not rely on CGI, and I love that. There's so much amazing stuff. But then he ruins it with this full CGI character that just looks like shit. Because they and it doesn't even matter. You didn't need to do it. The whole idea is on the ship, one of the science officers is an android that is played by the same actor from Alien. So, like, is a science officer. And, I mean, it's a reference to Alien. Okay, cool. What does it matter? They could have other stuff, because the actual character, it looks like from a video game. Like, if everything around it is so real, and it's like you can feel like you can touch it. And then, like, some of the face-hugging stuff that they did with, like, the tube. Like, they did a lot more with how the tube and how, like, the rapiness of it is, and how it's, like, disgusting and incredibly well done. Like, they did new things with the aliens I just loved. But then you get this full CGI, like, de-aged actor that, like, it's just... And it's so weird because, like, the body is, like, mostly destroyed. So it's, like, calling back on aliens and the android from that. But, like, it's still... The face is fully intact, pretty much. And the face is just, like, a full CGI de-aged version of the actor from the first film. And it just brought me down when I saw that. And I was like, oh, shit. And he's there for a lot of the movie. Like, that's probably the impetus for other things going on, with... like, stuff that he's trying, like, doing things to mess around with the other android, and maybe try to help Weyland-Yutani get what it wants. But, like, every time he was on screen, I was like, oh, like, disappointed me. And then, what made it even worse, there is one of the worst lines I've seen in a long time, and the worst usages of it. And it's just so pointless, like member berries. That doesn't make sense. And this is like in the big climactic part of the scene. I won't spoil what happens. But David Johnson, Andy, screams, "Get away from her, you bitch!" And it's like, why would he say that? Like the whole thing, his whole thing is that he's doing dad jokes the whole time, really bad dad jokes that were programmed by her dad. But like it's just of course it's a reference to aliens. You know, when she yells that out, Ripley yells that out to the alien queen. But why is he yelling this to like just another alien? Like these aliens are androgynous to male. They're like male drones, is what I see them as, and they're a lot of penises. They're full of penises. Gotta love H.R. Geiger, but like it's not a bitch, and it's like the way he says it. It's like, wait, is he like breaking the fourth wall? I I think he's breaking the fourth wall, like because like there's no reason for him to say that. It's like he knows. I said the line. I said the line. Ha! Get away from her, you bitch! Ha! It's like it bugged me so much, and it just doesn't make any sense. Like, why waste it? Why do this? Like, it doesn't. You don't need it. And it's like I have to. I hope that Fede Alvarez didn't put that in. I hope that like that Disney or Fox or whatever they are now. I hope they said you have to put this line in there. And I'm like, okay, because it feels like it should have been in Borderlands, that line. Like it doesn't make sense in any way of shape or form. Like it breaks my mind that they would do this. It's like, is this a Deadpool movie? Are you breaking the fourth wall? Like, I hated it. But the problem is everything else about the movie is so good. Like, I was enthralled. I was just staring at the screen the whole movie. It was exciting. Although I will say almost a little bit too exciting. Just because so much of the movie is like, they get on the ship and immediately, at first they're like, okay, we have 36 hours. Like, something happens, like, oh, we have an hour. Oh, we have 10, like, everything about it is all like amping up the time, and they have to get moving. They have to, save themselves from the ship, and they have to then they have to like do this other stuff to save that. They do all these things. They have these time limits that just kind of bam, 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 and it's like it's exciting, but at the same time, like some of the best parts of Alien and Aliens are in the times when they let the film breathe. And I feel like I never really got to know these characters other than Kaylee Spaney. I never really got to know the whole crew. And I feel like if there was more time before shit went wrong, But I mean, it's a tight movie. It's under 2 hours, so I can't complain too much about it. But it didn't need so much amping everything up at the time. But there's so much about it. I love that they did the whole, like, kind of like, at one point she gets a gun that is like what the Marines use, but it's like it has auto tracking because she's not a Marine. So some really cool. And I just so much. I love that these are like space miners. First movie had space truckers. The second movie was space marines. The third movie was space prisoner monks. The fourth movie and all the others were whatever. They actually had space scientists for Prometheus that are the stupidest characters ever. But like this one is it's so much about it is great, but it just is brought down by the full CGI android, and it's brought down by David Johnson Andy saying that stupid fucking line. Like, that line made me cringe so hard. Like, I was like, ugh. Like, I felt like there was an alien head behind me getting ready to mouth rape my face with his penis tongue. Like that, how like, I hated that so much. Well, it doesn't bring down so much of the movie that was amazing. I'd probably give it like an 8.75 out of 10. Like, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10, and maybe higher, if not for that line and that character. But thanks for watching. If you want to see more of me, you can subscribe down below. Thanks.